Hi, welcome to our Tuesday program. Just reminding you that tomorrow is an alcohol-free day, technically in Thailand. We'll find out why a bit later in the program, but a bit of an air emergency overnight. Reported in Khao English, Aeroflot plane circles Andaman Sea for 3 hours before emergency landing. And that's the Aeroflot 777 that was involved in the emergency once it arrived at Suvarnabhumi Airport. And the story says that the plane made an emergency landing at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport. This was last night after experiencing technical difficulties during its flight from Phuket to Moscow. The director of the Phuket airport said the aircraft's nose gear failed to retract after takeoff, unable to return to Phuket due to limited runway facilities. The flight diverted to Suvarnabhumi Airport, arriving last night at 9:10. This is just another one of these air emergencies with planes based in Russia. Of course, the sanctions remain. They can't get spare parts from Airbus or Boeing. And so these situations just keep on cropping up. As we move to our next story with nationthailand.com. And yes, selling alcohol on Makabucha Day, this is tomorrow, will result in punishment, warn police. And police say retail and wholesale business entrepreneurs are subjected, maybe reminded, to refrain from selling alcohol during the 5 Buddhist holidays, except those who sell alcohol through airport duty-free shops. And there's a list of the 5 Buddhist holidays where alcohol is banned. And so alcoholic beverages will be banned throughout the kingdom for 24 hours, starting from midnight tonight. That's midnight Tuesday, going through till midnight on February the 12th. So in other words, all of Wednesday. Now, a lot of foreigners from time to time complain about these, what they call draconian laws, these Buddhist holidays, preventing them from enjoying a drink. And the other very popular one that they complain about is the 2 to 5 p.m. daily ban on alcohol. And looks like there's a bit more of a pushback on that one. We go to the Bangkok Post. Outdated 2 to 5 p.m. booze ban faces fresh opposition. Hotels and businesses that sell alcohol on Monday called on the government, I think they need a comma there. Hotels and businesses that sell alcohol on Monday called on the government to lift the ban on the sale of alcoholic beverages from 2 to 5 p.m. And the alcohol ban was introduced in 1972 to prevent civil servants from drinking alcohol while working. Now, I must say, during the years I've lived here, I've heard probably 20 interpretations as to why the 2 to 5 p.m. alcohol ban is in place, but this one seems to be the one that's rising to the top these days. And a representative from the Thai Alcohol Beverage Business Association said while Thai people might be familiar with the ban and have no problem with buying alcohol outside of the prohibited period, foreigners visiting Thailand might not be prepared to compromise on their relaxation time upon arriving here. And the president of the Thai Hotels Association says the government policy and campaigns for attracting more tourists into the country deserve credit, but outdated regulations which are no longer practical or suitable to the current social context, such as the 2 to 5 p.m. alcohol sales ban, should be cancelled. Then the Secretary-General of the Craft Beer Trade Association says if the government decides to lift the ban now, not only hotels and large restaurants will benefit, but also the many small eateries and bars. So they are currently amending the Alcohol Act in Thailand. Maybe it's time for this 2 to 5 p.m. alcohol ban to go. Be interested to hear what you think. So over the weekend, there was an Instagram post showing a lot of apparently Indian tourists who were sleeping on the beaches in Pattaya. Now, a lot of people got their knickers in a knot and were complaining that, these Indian people should get accommodation and they shouldn't be drinking on the beach. Well, there has been a response from the Pattaya Mayor. Let's see what happened. We go to PattayaMail.com and Pattaya Mayor assures safety and cleanliness after Indian tourists sleeping on beach, viral video. And the video, you can see it there, shows a large group of Indian tourists, approximately 100 people, lying on the beach with some sleeping and others drinking beer amidst a pile of litter. and many questions were asked why the tourists did not book hotel accommodation and criticising their behaviour as inappropriate. The Pattaya Mayor has responded, says the area has recently seen a beach sand filling project, turning the beach into a 24-hour relaxation spot for both tourists and locals. And he says the Pattaya Beach is a public place, cannot be closed. We have staff from the Pattaya Municipal Police, Tourist Police and officers to maintain order 24 hours a day. Pattaya City has regulations imposing fines of up to 2,000 baht for littering. Pattaya has installed high-mast lighting and surveillance cameras across the beach. And then finally, Pattaya City reaffirmed its commitment to welcoming tourists from around the world, but emphasised the importance of respecting local rules to preserve the destination's international image. Pattaya's international image. We certainly don't want that tainted. As we head again to the borders, a bit more happening on the borders as we swing to the Cambodian border. This time we go to nation Thailand. Telecom service cut off to call centre scammers in Poipet, Cambodia. And the operation was kicked off in 3 areas in Thailand's Sakao province, namely a train station and 2 telephone poles. And police said the operation followed an investigation that found call centre gangs in Poipet used internet connections and telephone signals from Thailand. And scammers set up SIM boxes on the Cambodian border to access telecommunications services. And officials were focusing on cutting off telecom signals belonging to the international private leased circuit companies that supply internet and telephone signals to dozens of customers in Cambodia. And the NBTC say officials have reduced telecommunication transmissions and removed telephone poles to ensure that only people in Thailand have access. Where is Poipet? Well, it's right on the border with Cambodia, about a 3-hour bus drive to the east from Bangkok. So all these scam gangs operating in these border areas are at least being slowed down by these swift actions from the Thai government. Mind you, swift actions which follow 2 or 3 years of, doing nothing at all. We now go over to the Myanmar border near Kanchanaburi. The DKBA, we'll find out more about them in a moment, orders Chinese to exit casinos and businesses in Payatonzu by February the 28th. So a lot of the Chinese who run these scam gangs are given their marching orders and 3 weeks to leave the area. And the Democratic Karen Buddhist Army has issued a statement on Sunday asking Chinese nationals operating casinos and food businesses in Payatonzu to leave by February the 28th. The statement came after the Thai government's order to cut off electricity, fuel and internet in 5 Myanmar border areas last week. In addition, the DKBA statement said that it will also block Chinese citizens from entering the Payatonzu township. Where is Payatonzu? Well, it's right on the border with Thailand at the 3 Pagoda Pass in the province of Kanchanaburi. And just getting a quick understanding of who the DKBA are, they're a breakaway faction of the Karen National Union, initially aligned with Myanmar's military in the 1990s to oppose the KNU. Over time, the DKBA have splintered into factions, some maintaining ties with the government, while others pursued independent agendas. While some factions have entered ceasefire agreements, others remain involved in armed conflict. And it says the DKBA's alliances have shifted amid Myanmar's complex ethnic and political landscape, with some groups cooperating with the Tatmadaw, that's the Burmese army, and others joining broader coalition of ethnic armed organisations. As we head to Kamala in Phuket, and this is one of those Groundhog Day stories. It just keeps on coming back every year. Very quickly, we go to the Phuket news. Urgent action ordered over Kamala Beach wastewater. Pollution Control Department has ordered an urgent investigation into black wastewater yet again flowing across Kamala Beach and emptying into water where tourists and other beachgoers swim. And the investigation was ordered on Friday in response to health concerns raised by local residents after the black wastewater was found again flowing into the sea at Kamala Beach. Blah, blah, blah. Officials discovered that wastewater had been flowing from a public canal receiving runoff from a local community. A foul odour was also noticed and the bottom of the canal appeared heavily polluted. To address the issue, the PCD has recommended both immediate and long-term solutions. And in the short term, Kamala authorities are advised to spray microorganisms in the canal and on the beach to reduce odours. And the PCD says businesses and residents are urged to comply with wastewater disposal regulations to prevent further contamination. And the writer of the story from the Phuket News notes, the return of black wastewater flowing across Phuket beaches has become an annual event, plainly observed by tourists and residents alike. So too has promises by officials to take urgent action become an annual affair. And I bet my bottom dollar that sometime in the next 12 months that nothing will happen again and there'll be more urgent action intended by the Pollution Control Department. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with some of the stories around Thailand. Appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. As always, we appreciate the support of 5 Star Marine and we do look forward to seeing you tomorrow.